All right, shalom, everybody. Give it a second, let somebody jump on here.
Shalom, guys.
All right, so we are on Isaiah 66, last chapter. And then tomorrow we'll start in the book of Jeremiah. So, shalom, Nick. How you doing, man? David and Michelle, shalom.
Shalom, guys.
How are you guys? Roblin? All right, so let's see what we got.
24 verses.
All right, so I'll read the first 12 because those are the ones I wanted anyways. All right, here we go. Thus says Yehovah, heaven is my throne and earth is my footstool. Where is the house that you will build me, and where's the place of my rest? For all those things my hand has made, and all those things exist, says Yehovah. But on this one will I look, on him who is poor and of a contrite spirit, and who trembles at my word. And before I go on, these are probably two of my favorite scripture verses that I've always read because, you know, man is excuse me, sorry. Man has got such a mentality of thinking that they understand the mind of Yah, or they know how to manipulate him, or they know how he thinks or what he's going to do, and yet he says that man has no clue what Yah has declared or prepared for man. And right here, I love, heaven is my throne and the earth is my footstool. That's a really, really big God. And where is the house that you will build me? In other words, except that he allows it, there's nothing we can do for him. Not ever. You know, he's the one that gave David permission for his son Solomon to build the temple. He's the one that came upon the tabernacle with Moshe in a cloud by day and in a pillar of fire by night, to sit face to face with Moshe. He's the one that dwelled on the mercy seat of the Ark of the Covenant behind the Holy of Holies by his doing. None of that stuff could have happened because man declared it or wanted it to. None of that stuff could have came into place or into fruition by man's just deciding this is what's going to happen, and yeah, you're going to come and sit in here because I say so. It's not how it works. But yet, he says, and he makes clear, for all these things my hand has made. Even the things that man uses to create things was created by Yah. It's kind of like there's a running joke that I learned years ago. An atheist went before God and said, I can create, or a scientist, whatever it was, I can create life just like you can. And God said, okay, go for 7 days, go get what you need, come back, and you show me that you can do what I've done. And so he did. And 7 days later, a scientist or atheist, whatever it was, came back and laid a big pile of dirt and all this stuff, and God said, wait. He said, get your own dirt. And the point is, Mishpachah, is everything that man uses, every item, every mineral, every stone, every piece of metal, everything, it all comes from what Yehovah created. All the stuff that man invents, even the things that are the inventions of man, still came from items or things or whatever that Yehovah created from the beginning. And this is the point that we have to understand with this. Where is the house that we will build him? In other words, how are we going to put him in a box and put him in a place where we have access to him at our leisure? Our access is before his throne room. And it is only by the blessing and the privilege through the Ruach HaKodesh that we can come before him that way in prayer and all of these things. And as he says, but on this one will I look, on him who is poor and of a contrite spirit, and who trembles at my word. Not a lot of trembling going on, Miss Baha. He who kills a bull is as if he slays a man. He who sacrifices a lamb as if he breaks a dog's neck. He who offers a grain offering as if he offers swine's blood. In other words, it all means nothing because man's heart is not in it. It's not obedient. He who burns incense as if he blesses an idol, just as they have chosen their own ways. There you go. Excuse me, sorry. And their soul delights in their abominations. So will I choose their delusions and bring their fears on them. Because when I called, no one answered. When I spoke, they did not hear. But they did evil before my eyes and chose that in which I do not delight. Everybody wants to declare what Yah will delight in accordance to their way. But nobody wants to declare what Yah delights in accordance to his way. It's much like the arguments of people who keep Christmas and Easter, who have learned the truth, and you say, hey, Yah says not to come unto him this way. Oh, well, God knows my heart. It's okay. I don't keep it for those. I know it's pagan, but I don't keep it that way. I keep it for Yeshua's way. But yet Yah said, don't keep it this way. He said, don't come unto me this way. So where does that change? Because we say so? It doesn't work that way. But they say, well, Yah knows my heart. And they still choose which he does not delight in. Hear the word of Yehovah, you who trembled at his word. Hear the word of Yehovah, you who tremble at his word. Your brethren who hated you, who cast you out for my name's sake, said, let Yehovah be glorified, that we may see your joy. But they shall be ashamed. The sound of noise from the city, a voice from the temple, the voice of Yehovah, who fully repays his enemies. Before she was in labor, she gave birth. Before her pain came, she delivered a male child. Who has heard such a thing? Who has seen such things? Shall the earth be made to give birth in one day, or shall a nation be born at once? For as soon as Zion was in labor, she gave birth to her children. Shall I bring to the time of birth and not cause delivery? Says Yehovah. Shall I, who cause delivery, shut up the womb? Says your Elohim. Rejoice with Yerushalayim. Be glad with her, all you who love her. Rejoice for joy with her, all you who mourn for her. That you may feed and be satisfied with the consolation of her bosom, that you may drink deeply and be delighted with the abundance of her glory. For thus says Yehovah, behold, I will extend peace to her like a river, and the glory of the Gentiles like a flowing stream. Then you shall feed. On her sides shall you be carried, and be dandled on her knees.
As one whom his mother comforts, so I will comfort you, and you shall be comforted in Jerusalem. When you see this, your heart shall rejoice, and your bones shall flourish like grass, and the hand of Yehovah shall be known to his servants, and his indignation to his enemies. For behold, Yehovah will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword Yehovah will judge all flesh, and the slain of Yehovah shall be many. Those who sanctify them and purify themselves to go to the gardens after an idol in the midst of eating swine's flesh and the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed together, says Yehovah. For I know their works and their thoughts. It shall be that I will gather all nations and tongues, and they shall come and see my glory. I will set a sign among them, and those among them who escape I will send to the nations, to Tarshish and Pul and Lud, who draw the bow, and Tubal and Javan, to the coastlands afar off who have not heard my fame nor seen my glory. And they shall declare my glory among the Gentiles. Then they shall bring all your brethren for an offering to Yehovah out of all nations, on horses and in chariots, and in litters, on mules and on camels, to my holy mountain, Jerusalem, says Yehovah. As the children of Israel bring an offering in a clean vessel into the house of Yehovah. And I will also take some of them for priests and Levites, says Yehovah. Whereas the new heavens and the new earth, which I will make, shall remain before me, says Yehovah, so shall your descendants and your name remain. And it shall come to pass that from new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, all flesh shall come to worship before me, says Yehovah. And they shall go forth and look upon the corpses of the men who have registered against me, for their worm does not die, and their fire is not quenched. They shall be an abhorrence to all flesh.
All right, Mishpaha. So, all right, so tomorrow we will be starting. We'll be starting on the book of Jeremiah and get rolling on that. Also, I'll be back on here live here in the next couple hours or so. Something that while I was in my I was reading and stuff and in my studies in worship this morning, came across something that just really stirred my heart. So I'll be back on here probably in a couple hours, something like that, and just share with y'all. So we love y'all, Mishpaha. We hope y'all have an awesome and blessed day wherever you're at. And most of all, Yah loves you. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.